Hi, I'm Steve Davies, and what I'm talking about today is the Australian Taxation Office's capability and willingness to abuse power. But first, let me tell you where I'm coming from in all of this. I'm a retired public servant. My background is in human resources, organisational research and development, and information technology. I have been a critic of the culture of the Australian Public Service for a long time. I know the Australian Taxation Office very well. Australian public service agencies have evolved a war chest of administrative and legal arrangements that enable them to crush anyone who dares to complain or blows the whistle on wrongdoing and injustice. Agencies are riddled with a dangerous culture of blind compliance. The core of the problem is the politicised corporate culture of Australian public service agencies. They see a bogeyman around every corner, are obsessed with their own reputation, as in the reputation of politicians and senior officials, and will spend a lot of time and effort slapping down information they simply do not like. Why is this important to us all? Because any one of us could, in all innocence, make a complaint or share information that they do not like. In a heartbeat, you could find yourself embroiled in administrative nightmares and legal hell due to bureaucratic and political paranoia. Most people intuitively know this. How often have you heard people say, "You can't win, they don't listen, it's not worth the effort, they'll do what they want anyway." And people are right. The ugly truth, however, is that what is behind all this is a funded and normalised capability to abuse power, mostly driven by groupthink and paranoia. Three characteristics show that the Australian Tax Office's abuse of power is systemic. 1. It is resourced. Vast amounts of taxpayers' money is spent on staff, equipment and external services. For example, engaging top-tier legal firms. And there is much more. 2. It is normalised under the guise of defending the tax system. And 3, abuses of power are denied and the practices and behaviours that constitute the abuse defended. Typically, the ATO reacts by saying, "No, that's not true. We're defending the integrity of the tax system. We don't need any more scrutiny." If that was simply the case, we would not be seeing ATO staff blowing the whistle on the practices of the ATO. The Inspector General of Taxation would not be swamped with complaints from taxpayers. Medical practitioners and psychologists would not be seeing ATO staff damaged due to being mobbed by ATO management. The ATO's "look over here" message holds no water. The majority of taxpayers already comply. Most have simple tax affairs and have no inclination to do the wrong thing. ATO staff who complain or whistleblow are usually doing the right thing. Despite these facts, the ATO expends disproportionate amounts of money and resources hounding people whose complaints shine a light on its conduct. So what does the ATO's abuse of power look like? People are bounced around the bureaucratic maze to exhaust and frustrate them. Complaints drag on for months and years. Rather than acknowledging important problems and issues, the ATO seeks to mask and bury them. People are hounded by bureaucrats and lawyers. ATO staff who dare to raise issues that are in the public interest are especially targeted, particularly when the issues they raise have implications for senior officials. even moderate embarrassment is enough to trigger abuse. And bad news travels far. The result? People learn to shut up and cop it. Good for the ATO, bad for the tax system and the community. On 9 April 2018, the Commissioner of Taxation asked the Australian Services Union and Community and Public Sector Union to support his action of responding to, quote, outrageous allegations being made against the ATO and its people. On the evening of 9 April, the ABC and Fairfax investigation into the ATO was aired on ABC Four Corners. Despite not receiving a, quote, promised copy of the media release, unquote, from the Commissioner, the Administrative Services Union put a number of posts on its website claiming the Four Corners program, mongrel bunch of bastards, was an attack on all ATO staff and that lies were being told about the ATO. The Commissioner of Taxation has taken a similar line, and some personal attacks have been made against investigative reporter Adele Ferguson. The ATO has played shoot the messenger in attacking Adele. Predictably, they have attempted to deny the disclosures made by whistleblowers. The response of the ATO to the Four Corners program is unbalanced and self-serving. Here's how it works. Most taxpayers' matters are simple and are dealt with professionally by ATO workers. This is the easiest case and therefore easily reported on. They are used to give the impression that all is well with the ATO. For complex matters that reflect badly on the ATO, the story is very different. In these circumstances, the ATO does all it can to defend itself. In situations like this, the ATO resorts to abusing administrative and legal power to win at all costs. In other words, when it comes to the harder case, the ATO behaves badly. Why? To protect itself. It then uses the easiest, as in non-threatening cases, to justify and deny its willingness and capability to abuse power. Taxpayers whose complaints threaten the ATO end up entrapped in a highly abusive and very different version of the tax system. In reality, they are whistleblowers. Everyone else learns to shut up, and indeed, taxpayers are often advised to shut up and cop it sweet. Serious questions need to be asked about how many lives and businesses are destroyed by the self-serving and dictatorial dark side of the ATO. Its willingness and capability to abuse power must be dismantled.